Hi everyone, Christina here. Welcome to another video at my YouTube channel. Today I'm trying out some brand new watercolors from IUILE Watercolors over at Etsy. I've used her watercolors in the past. This is the Shiny set. It's kind of like a color changing multi-chrome. I don't even know how to describe these watercolors. And at this point in my process, I had not even painted with them yet, so I didn't know how awesome they were. But just take my word for it, you will see how amazing they are by the end of the video. So I took a ruler, a T-square ruler, and a pencil, and I drew on some lines onto black watercolor paper. I'm using this size 8 round faux squirrel brush from ZenArt. ZenArt sent the brush to me to try out, and I had not tried it out until this very moment. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a review on these watercolors today, as well as this paintbrush. So I taped my watercolor panel down to a board here so that I can lift up the panel and paint it while it's tipped up a little bit. And I can also rotate it and move it around and kind of get to all different angles as I paint. Now this black watercolor paper, this is from Legion. This is their Stonehenge black watercolor paper. It has a very soft surface. So if you tape it down to a board, when you remove the tape, it will remove the top surface area of the paper. So for that reason, I used an oversized piece of watercolor paper. My eventual card for this video will actually be 5x7. This panel is cut to 5x7. I thought it might be 4¼ by 5½, but I loved these stripes so much that I didn't want to get rid of too much of the sides or whatever. So I did salvage it and make it more of a 5x7 card, but I did have to have a white border. It couldn't go edge to edge because I did decide to tape it down. So these paints right now, as you can see, they kind of look like regular pearlescent metallic paints, kind of shimmer paints. They're going on in the color that looks like the color in the pan. And I had seen online with these particular watercolors that they have a shift of color, and I wasn't sure when that would happen. Does it happen when it dries? Does it only happen when you can kind of turn it in the light? I didn't quite know what to expect at this point, but I just kept painting. And I started to suspect that maybe the magic happens when it's dry. And I really think that's true. Once everything was dry, then I was able to see how much more special these paints are. So I finished painting all of my stripes, and I'm going to let these air dry. I don't know that using a heat tool would do anything adverse to them. I think you definitely could speed up the drying process, but I just set it aside to dry for a little bit and just kind of painted with the paints a little bit more, which you'll probably see on Instagram soon. So here it is dry, and you can see it's sort of the color shifts a little bit more pinks and purples when you get to the side. It's not real noticeable right now at this point, but this is when I started getting real excited because I picked out a die. I'm going to use the Paper Hugs die from Simon Says Stamp. And when I walked across my craft room to find that die and I looked back at my watercolor piece, I was like, what just happened? The colors looked completely different. And so you'll be able to see that at the end of the video here. I have some video footage so you can kind of see what I saw. I put some foam adhesive on the back of my watercolor panel and put that directly down onto my card front. Like I said, this is a 5x7 card base now. I die cut the Paper Hugs die 4 times out of some white cardstock. This is 110-pound cardstock. This is Neenah Classic Crest Solar White cardstock. So it's pretty thick, so 4 layers is plenty thick to create a stack of die cuts. I use some honeybee precision glue to put little dabs of glue on and glue those together. I'm now using the Friendship Sentiment stamp set from Mama Elephant just to add a secondary greeting on the front of my card. I'm going to be heat embossing it on black cardstock. This is some Hero Arts Pitch Black cardstock. And I prepped that with an anti-static powder tool, and then I'm stamping the greeting in Versamark ink. So I'll press this down really lightly. These are very small, delicate words. I don't want to squish the stamp too much. Sprinkled on some Brutus Monroe Alabaster embossing powder, and then hit that with my heat tool until it's smooth and melted. I then trimmed it down to a smaller area, put some foam adhesive on the back, and then adhered it to the bottom right corner of my card. I then picked up the paper hugs greeting that I did earlier, and I put some dabs of glue on the back with that same glue that I used earlier. So that's going to finish the card, but I'm going to lift it up into the light and you can kind of see how the color shifts from side to side. And it was fairly dramatic at this point, just using the lamps in my craft room. But I have footage for you in natural daylight, and that's where you really see the difference. So I'm just tipping it in the light. You can sort of see there's a little bit of a color change, color shift, but not so dramatic. It almost looks like it just gets darker and is hidden. But pay attention to that darker stripe right behind the word hugs. See how it changes in this next clip. So this is in daylight, and as I come down to the side, look how that changes. Isn't that amazing? These are the most interesting watercolors I have ever seen. Look at that color shift. It's so fun. Anyway, you can pick up these watercolors over at IUILE Watercolors Etsy shop. I'll have it linked down below. She also has dot cards if you just want to try out these colors in smaller quantities and not invest in a full set or full pan of colors. Thanks so much for watching today. Oh, I almost forgot to talk about that paintbrush. I really did love that paintbrush. I will probably do a more thorough review later on all the brushes that they sent to me. Until then, I really love that paintbrush, and I will link to it below as well. Thanks for watching. Just a reminder, I'm going to be back here on Wednesday night for a live stream. I'm going to be making some color swatch charts for Karen markers. You may have seen my swatch chart in the past in videos. I'm going to be showing you how I created that. So hopefully you'll join me. I will see you on Wednesday night.